Welcome to the Lara Jane Layton Show. This podcast is for you, the person who keeps putting others first. Your self-talk has held you back. You no longer need to take a second seat. Let's explore ways to overcome self-doubt. You can silence that inner bully voice and achieve your full potential. Here's your host, Lara Jane.
Hello, listener. It's Lara Jane again, and I am here with another best friend. Her name is Juliana, and all of the information about her and how to get a hold of her is in the show notes, and I think you're going to want to get a hold of her. We are going to talk about clarity and confidence and finding that in ourselves and how we engage that confidence in life. And so I am so excited because I lack confidence regularly. And it's not just because I haven't learned it yet, but because I have a bully voice that tells me I can't do everything. So I have to learn to overcome it. So, hey, Juliana, I am so excited to have you here. I am looking forward to learning how to add more confidence to my life. Tell me how you were able to add more confidence to your life.
Well, Laura, a few years ago, I was not confident at all. I was so shy, and I was not confident in myself. And I believe that confidence is something that we create or we learn. You know, it's not something that we are born with. And the more we love ourselves, the more we treat ourselves right, the more we talk positively into our life, the more we practice confidence, the more we become confident. You know, like pretend it till you get it. I think it's so true. And I think this is the secret behind how I gained my confidence.
So how long did it take you to go from feeling unconfident to being able to step up and join me on a podcast? I mean, it takes a level of confidence and comfort level with the words and who you are to do this. So I know you've gotten there. So how long did it take and what steps did you take to get there?
Okay, actually, as you said, it takes comfort. I would say that it takes discomfort. Like sometimes we are so comfort in our zone that we don't dare to go to outside of our comfort zone and make new things, meet new people, or try new things that are outside of our comfort zone. What I did is that the more I practice to go outside of my comfort zone, to go outside of the zone that I usually get comfortable in, the more I stretch this zone and the more I become confident to take more risks, to be like more open to new people, to be here with you right here, right now. You know, I believe that taking action and going outside of our comfort zone is a very big key to creating our confidence in life. And
so are you like doing baby steps? Like, are you just like, okay, today I pretend like it's walking. Today I'm going to go to the driveway. Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the sidewalk. The next day I'm going to go down there. So are you just adding a little bit and like, whoa, I did it. Adding a little bit more. I did that.
Exactly, Laura. Exactly. As you are saying, you know, the more we practice going outside of our comfort zone and taking these baby steps, the more our comfort zone it stretch and it like gets wider. And suddenly you find yourself like day after day after day, after a month, after a year, you are in a comfort zone, but you are in a wider comfort zone to you. That you are taking these steps, you are making the same things, but you are more comfortable because you practiced them. You did them before, you took the risk. So your comfort zone now is wider. And you find yourself like you're doing the work effortlessly, the thing that you used to do with a very big effort a year before, just because you are taking the baby steps that you are talking about right now. So I totally agree with you.
Hey, I was repeating you. So I love it though, because, sometimes I forget that my comfort zone is different than it used to be because it's comfortable. But yeah, 2 years ago, you wouldn't have caught me dead on someone's podcast. I loved listening, but I never felt like I had the words to share. And as I started sharing them with people, and, it's like, okay, I can share it with the world. So I get that expand your comfort zone. Did you choose certain things? Did you have a 5-year plan and I'm going to tackle them off? Or did you just allow it as you got comfortable with a new thing and brought in another?
That's a very good question, Lori. There are two types of people. The people that see the few steps in front of them and just begin to take them. And there are another part of people that see the big goal and they begin to discover the steps that would take them to that big goal. So to me, I consider myself like the other part, which is seeing the big goal, seeing the big thing, the vision, the wide vision, then discovering how to take the steps from A to B to C. And if some of them is not working, be flexible, for example, to transform B to something else, B prime or anything. But at the end of the day, making sure that these steps that you are taking is leading them to your wide vision, to your big goal. So I consider myself as the second part, which is seeing the vision and then taking the baby steps to get to that vision. Yeah.
No, if you saw the whole vision, how close are you to it? Did you get it all the way there? Or are you still working towards that goal?
Oh, Laura, as you are moving in your journey, you think that things don't finish. When you get from one step to one step, there is a bigger step. You begin by coaching some people. You end up in a mastermind class, or you end up in a podcast, you end up in a TV show. There is always something big on your journey that you don't discover until you are taking the steps that are in front of you. So I totally believe that the journey appears as you are moving and as you are taking those steps.
Right. I was just this morning listening to a podcast. It's one of Adam Adams's, and he was talking about seeing this tree on the mountain and how his goal was to walk to that tree because it was at the top of the mountain. And as he walked there, he had taken his eye off of the journey and was only looking at the destination. And to his dissatisfaction, maybe is the word, when he got to the tree, it wasn't the top. From where we were at the bottom of the hill, it appears to be the top. But when you get there, it's just a step. It's just a step along the journey to the top. And top only is meaning, with mountains and stuff, if you want to get to the top, there's a lot of little steps in between where we can have succeeded and we met that goal, and we can enjoy the journey and enjoy the scenery looking down the hill and the flowers and all those other things along that path. But you are confident in the climb. The climb, whether you got to the top or not with that first little goal, doesn't matter. But you know now that you can confidently go up the hill to a spot. And I think that taking what you said about the end, I'm not at the end yet because I've added more, it's kind of like finally getting to that tree and realizing, oh, there's more to the mountain. And going forward and going, taking advantage of it and keep on going. So I love that. And you're a stronger climber by the time you got there. You're more confident in getting there. And so loving the journey of becoming more confident also adds to the confidence.
I totally agree. And Laura, it's usually that I listen a quote before that said that person who loves the journey more than the destination can reach further places because he's enjoying the journey, and the journey will never end. But the destination, there's always a new destination along the way. So I totally agree with you with what you're saying.
Yeah. So so as we become more confident, we have more experiences. We have all these new things under our belt. And all of a sudden, we're not the same person we were yesterday. And we love the person who we were yesterday, and we love the person who we are today. It's kind of that art of allowing our growth and our process and knowing we did the best we could with what we had at the time. And just knowing that you can do the best you can is confidence. And so I think that's another key part, is realizing that confidence doesn't mean you're perfect. Confidence means you're capable of being able to get there. And enjoying the journey is a key for me to get there and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think that you're right. Because as you're taking those actions, you gain momentum. And this momentum will increase your confidence and will help you to go further in your steps.
So, the other thing that you were going to talk about is that clarity. And maybe it's the clarity in goals or the clarity in life or self-awareness. What do you want to share with our listener about clarity?
Yeah. Laura, that clarity is so important to know where you are going. Because as I had a story that I listened to it before, that there is a man and there is a rabbit. And the rabbit came and asked the man, the man came and asked the rabbit, where should I go? He told, or from which road should I go? There was like many roads, streets all together. He asked him, where to go? He told him, where are you going? The man answered, I don't know. So the rabbit told the man, so you can go from any street. Any street will lead you to anywhere, So imagine that we are in our life and there is so many options. Option A, B, C, D. And we don't have a vision and we are not clear to where we are headed. So where to go? Which option to take? If you don't have a clarity of your goal, of your vision, of where you are going, you will not know to where road you should go. So that's very important to be clear in order to make a progress in your life, in order to reach where you want to reach. And this clarity is often we usually listen to many people around us. Many people say that you should get to graduate, go and find a job, get married at 30, get kids. This is your life, And
the pre-scripted life someone else wanted.
Yeah. Everybody wants that except you, and it's your life. So it's so hard. And the problem that we listen to all the people around us, but not to ourselves. We don't set but by ourselves, to listen to our inner self. What do I want out of this life? What I want people to remember me when I die or anything? What thing that fulfill my heart, brings me joy, happiness? Perhaps it's something that's not what people want you to do. So my first advice, if you want to have a clarity in your life, just sit by yourself and get to know yourself, get to know what's make you happy and what you really want out of this life. Because you only have the answer and not any people, not your mother, not your dad, not your partner. Just you know the answer and the exact answer of what you really want out of this life. So that's why clarity is so important in achieving your goals and to know at least what's your goal, So yeah, clarity is so important, I think.
I love it. And I don't know if it was why we were talking ahead of this or during this. So if I'm repeating something you just heard, but you mentioned flexibility. And as I set my goals and I set my life, I also allow for change, because as I get closer to that goal, it may have adjusted. I may need to take this side road, or I may need to turn around. Or take this Y. There's a lot of choices every day that guide us to that goal. And we're down the road. And if the goal changes, you're not lost. You're not on the wrong path. You're just going to take the next Y and move on to your new direction. So I think I'm not the same person I was last week. I wasn't 2 years ago. I could be a total stranger to people who thought they knew me 10 years ago, because I'm different, because my goals have changed. My life has changed, and I allow that, but it hasn't changed my focus. It hasn't changed my drive, hasn't changed that, it just, where I'm looking has changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Laura, that's why perhaps the most important thing than achieving your goal is becoming the person that you will be after achieving this goal. Because, it just changes you from inside out. It's like a real personal development behind all that. You feel like you are another person and everything could change.
I love it, because, I'm going to guess our souls, that internal all-knowing part of our lives is not changing, but this human existence and the way our egos and our human mind work has got to change, because we learn more, we do more, we've experienced more. I don't have, there's a lot of people out there with empty nest syndrome. Their kids go and they don't know who they are. And so all of a sudden they got to refigure that out, because they let their self-identity go. And I think it's really critical to understand that that's okay. It's okay to identify as something and have it change and move on. And it's the confidence that you can be you, and you can be a different you tomorrow than you are today, and that is okay. I think people are so caught up on what this world has put on them with expectations, whether it's their parents or their school or their religion, or there's so many avenues out there that tell us how we have to live. But I love that self-reflection that you were talking about, of really identifying where you want to go and getting on that path. So I'm going to take a real quick break. We have a quick word from our sponsor, and we're going to be right back. And when we come back, we're going to have Juliana talk to us about how to really identify or come to that comfort of knowing who you are. So be right back.
This podcast is sponsored by Lara Jane Coaching. You know you're ready to silence your inner bully voice. Let Lara Jane support you with coaching. To schedule an introduction call, go to larajanelayton.com.
All right, we are back. So I know, Juliana, when we were talking, I know you're an architect, and I know that is a huge accomplishment and an amazing thing. But now you're getting it, and very analytical in a lot of a sense. And now as we get into this, who are we, and that confidence kind of is more of the touchy-feely part and not the analytical. So as you were trying to identify you and setting your goals and what you needed to do to be confident, how did you do that?
Laura, I think, first of all, as I told you, it's about self-reflection and to know where you are headed, being clear about the roads, and when you have that vision, I would love to meditate. I usually meditate like 1 to 2 times per day in order to have my ideas organized and be calm and, just like silence all the noise around you and to really know yourself well, to have your ideas calm and to know what you want, And another thing which is very important is about, which I never had it before, it's about the positive self-talk. And I can't stress enough how that is so important. Laura, before becoming like a coach and all that and coaching people, I usually had a self-talk like, I can't do this. Oh, it's not for me. I don't deserve that. And I usually have these limiting beliefs inside myself. Although I was an architect and I had a very successful job, I still have those ideas about that I can't, I won't, and I don't deserve this beautiful life. I don't deserve abundance, or a belief that I should work so hard to get money. These beliefs and these talks that could bring problems into your life. And after doing the inner work and everything, I discovered how these words are toxic to our life and how having a bit change in our words, talking to ourselves, talking to a person that we love. I began to imagine myself talking these words to someone I love. How would he react? It's so hard. I began to tell myself that, oh my God, what are you doing? Why you are self-torturing yourself by these words? And I discovered that when I changed this chit-chat, words in my mind, it's made a big difference in my life, my abundance and my abilities. So other than clarity and self-reflection, I think that having a positive self-talk, or at least awareness of knowing what you are talking to yourself, to change the scenario when you catch yourself talking negatively to yourself. So I think that it was a turning point in my life when I discovered the importance of having positive self-talk.
I love that, because that's my whole message is change your self-talk and change your life. Really, when we sit and replay something negative in our heads over and over and over again, if anybody else did that to us, we would never go around them again. There's just no way that person is going to be my friend because they're rude, but we do it to ourselves. And so that's why I like to say, become your own best friend, because how else should we talk to ourselves? If I've fallen down, I'm not going to sit and wonder about how many people think I'm a klutz. I'm going to try to remember that I have a helping hand and I can help myself up and we can move on and not let it hold us back. And so it's just changing those thoughts. And, for my listener, they know my Monday episodes are that challenge episode. And that's the words. That's switching up a word. And it's one at a time. It's not like changing your whole life overnight. It's not like changing direction and totally uprooting everything. It's picking one little thing that you can do and say to help yourself feel more confident. And I love that part that you were talking about, is it's the words, because that's my message. So yay.
Yeah, I love that, Laura. And this comes the importance of having certain affirmations that we could use in a certain part of our life. Our conscious mind does not differentiate between words. So just imagine that you are telling yourself, I am confident, or I can do this. How these vibrations could affect the way that we are living or the way that we are doing things. So I think affirmations are so important, and I don't think that they are a waste of time. On the contrary, I believe that they are strong enough to affect our energy, our vibration, and our ability to do things the right way.
I love affirmations. I agree with you that sometimes having that pre-written down verbiage helps us to stay more focused instead of like, what is it today? So at least it's down. I have one on my bathroom mirror. I have one on my monitor I'm looking at. The affirmation. I don't know, you can, if you're on video, you can see my little magnet board. It's got affirmations on it.
Oh,
So,
I love that.
so I'm totally with you that affirmations are amazing, but I also want to make sure we're affirmating the right thing. So what you say and what you do become reality. So as we are saying certain words, remember that when we say don't, our bodies freeze. So try to state it in the affirmative as you're writing down. It's like, don't think about the pink elephant. It doesn't work, right? So there's certain ways that you can create affirmations that support your goal. And there's tons online already done. You don't have to go and make them all up yourself, but just remember to be very conscious of the words in the affirmation so that you are affirmating the right thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Laura. I love that.
Do you have a favorite affirmation?
Yes, actually, I had an affirmation that I used when I were in very bad times, and like things gonna be okay. Like when I'm in a bad situation and all that, I just remind myself that things gonna be okay. So no matter how they are hard right now, I believe that things gonna be okay in the future because that's what happened before. Things always work out in our best favor, and I believe in that.
I love that because things are okay. They're okay right now. They may be teaching us something. It may be a little bit of a struggle, but it's okay. So life is okay. And it's just what it needs to be for me today so that I can become my best self. And I love that because we don't have a definition of best self, but our guides and that, I don't know if you believe in God or the universe or higher powers or whatever it is, they know who your best self is. And the struggles you're going through today were specifically designed to give you the experience to become your best self. So embrace the things that today you may not think are okay, but know they're okay. And so yes, life is okay. And it's just what it needs to be.
Yeah, I love that. I totally love that because, Laura, even usually things happen for us and not to us. As you said, there is always either a lesson or something that we really need in our journey, no matter how things are hard, but we need it in order to get where we want to be. So I love what you said, that life is okay right now because no matter whether it's good or bad, it's something needed to get where we want to be.
Yes. And I think of it like the thunderstorms. They're loud, they're crazy, you want to stay inside. But those thunderstorms are giving the right neurons and the moisture and everything that nature needs to flourish. And so when we're experiencing something that feels like a thunderstorm inside of us, know it's doing its job. And the sunshine, if you forget to enjoy the sunshine, it does its job too. It's not just the bad things that teach us lessons. The good things teach us also. And so it's really, that gratitude is so powerful.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that's gratitude. Like, we don't always have what we want, but we always have what we need right now.
I love that. Yeah. Remember that, listener. We don't always have what we want, but you always have what you need. Did you have more for that?
And I know, Laura, that just having this mindset, like many people could have their health is good, their life is going so good, but they would look like, oh, why he's having more money than me? Like, you know what's going in his life? Perhaps his life is disastrous. Passed. His health is not good, you know? Like, you have everything that you need. Just looking at the things in the positive eye, the positive mindset will help you to feel grateful for what you have and not to take it for granted, because the things that we take for granted, we often lose them. We should be thankful to have or to get more.
And with more, we can do more. So as long as we're doing well and helping the people around us with what we have, there will be more to be granted.
Exactly.
We are nearing to the very end of our episode. Juliana, I have just totally enjoyed talking with you today. It's been a pleasure. And I know you're just full of wisdom. And my favorite last question to ask is, what little bit of wisdom can we add? What do you want the listener to walk away with and to embrace new in their life today?
I could add something like, which is, I think that life is changing. It would be like, stay present right here, right now. Don't live so much in the past because it's not coming or you're not going that way. And don't think so much about the future because perhaps it won't come. Stay present right here, right now. Enjoy your presence. Enjoy what you have. And breathe and feel this beautiful life force inside your lungs. Appreciate what you have and make the best out of this moment because it's all what you have.
Perfectly said. It's right now that counts. We can prepare for tomorrow. We can take advantage of yesterday, but what matters is right now. And I think we just had an amazing right now moment with you. So I really appreciate you coming on this show. Listener, Juliana and I are not mental or medical professionals. The full disclosure is in the show notes, along with how to get a hold of Juliana. And we stay tuned for the next episode. We'll talk to you then. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Are you tired of waking up exhausted? You are not alone. If you're looking to take your life back, let's start with the simple step of adjusting your self-talk. Stay tuned for the next episode with your host, Lara Jane. Remember to follow the show so you don't miss a next simple step that you can use to feel more confident. And please leave an honest review.